The road to Judgment Day is finally complete. We are finally at our last show of this road to that has taken 7 months to complete. 7 grueling months. Uh,
It's been a minute.
but yeah, but before we start that, some sad news. We always talk about sad news when anybody who we are a fan of, whether it's me or Tro, passes away. So I just want to bring up a rest in peace shout out to DJ Michael Watts. I'm a huge fan of Houston rap. I've I've referenced that a few times on this podcast, and Michael Watts is the one who essentially put me on to the Houston rap game when Swisher House blew up back in '05. You had Mike Jones, had Paul Wall, former Swisher House member, Chameleonaire, who essentially had the biggest hit of any Houston artist from that time period with that riding track. But yeah, Michael Watts was the one who essentially made Swisher House. He was a co-owner with G Dash, and yeah, that put me on the DJ Screw. That put me on to pretty much everything Houston when it came to Houston rap, and which is like 95% of what I listen to is Houston rap, and I owe a lot of that to Mike Watts. So rest in peace, DJ Michael 5000 Watts, one of the all-time greats, a Houston legend, just like Screw, and two of the two biggest DJs that shaped the sound of the chop and screw music are no longer with us. Screw, obviously, the creator of it, and Watts, a man who kept it going after Screw was gone. So rest in peace to both of them, especially since he just recently passed away. Rest in peace to Mike Watts. But getting to the show we are reviewing today, like I said, Judgment Day. We are reviewing Judgment Day 2004. This show right here. And my goodness, what a main event. That chair shot. My gosh. It's every time I watch it, just even watching it last night, I could not but like it's crazy. The reaction of I think there's a woman in the crowd who like yells the moment the chair shot goes off, and just hearing the chair shot, and then when they they cut to Eddie Guerrero who's just sitting down and his face just covered in blood. Like what a crazy moment that was. We are going to get to that obviously, but first, Tro, how you doing?
I am doing great, amazing, and awesome. So, is it true that you watched the Royal Rumble this past Saturday?
No, no, it is not.
No,
No, I did not
see,
watch it.
I didn't think it was. I was going to say that it seems very weird for you to actually watch anything modern.
Yeah, those Maven posts that I made were all satire. And some people got mad at them when they were just satire. Like, bro, calm down.
I
Calm down. It's just satire. I'm just
I
being
mean,
silly.
if there's any modern show to watch, I feel like just like a random ass modern Rumble probably would be it just to see who's on the roster. But it wasn't a very good show, so
The Royal Rumble,
I wouldn't
the
suggest
Ro-
it.
the Royal Rumble is one of my favorite yearly pay-per-views. I've always been a fan of that concept. So, and the Royal Rumble, ironically, has been two times got me back to WWE. Back in 2010, I was watching TNA. And TNA started to get a little boring for me towards the end of 2010. And just when the 2011 Rumble came around, I was like, I'll watch it. So I checked it out and I enjoyed it, and that put me back to WWE. Then I started getting, and it's not like the product all of a sudden was immensely
No,
better. Like I said, I've not fully enjoyed WWE since like 2005, but then
wasn't a bad year.
No, 2011 was not a bad year at all. I enjoyed 2011 and even 2012 for that matter. Those were okay years compared when you compare it to '06 to now. Those are two of the best years of that time period, in my opinion. Then I stopped watching again in 2017, and ironically, I came back at the 2020 Royal Rumble because I was hearing all these rumors about Edge potentially coming back, and seeing him come back was cool, and it was a good show. And then it died down again, and it became extremely boring. And
to be fair, COVID
ironically,
hit.
oh yeah, the crowd not being there
That
was
didn't help.
yeah, it didn't help at all. But even with the crowd, those shows would absolutely
I
have
mean,
been nothing.
I felt it was we were so close to having Drew McIntyre having this big moment at that WrestleMania. I felt so bad.
Nah, I'm not a big Drew McIntyre fan anyway, so I don't really care for that.
I wasn't at the time, but them building him up to that point was like, I was like, okay, I can get behind this guy.
But then I literally stopped watching, and I have not watched that many pro wrestling stuff since, in terms of current, obviously, since Royal Rumble 21. Ironically, I went from Royal Rumble 20 to Royal Rumble 21, and it's nothing against the show Royal Rumble 21. I was like, the same. I'm not saying whether it was good or not. I'm just saying at that point, I was like, this whole year has done nothing for me. I'm done. And since then, I watched a little bit of like Triple H's first Raw, which they were doing something big for Rey Mysterio that day. I remember. Yeah. I watched a little bit of that, and it wasn't even good enough for me to keep watching. And I've watched a couple of AEW weekly shows, and they're boring as hell. AEW has never got me interested. They've got me interested because they'll do something here that seems interesting, and then you watch their shows, and it's like, that's the only reason why I've watched AEW, because they would essentially sometimes do something where it's like, oh my gosh, gotta watch this. Like I remember the MJF promo that got me back. He is. That's. I love watching MJF. He cut like a work shoot on, I think it was Tony Khan, and the whole company. And that got me to watch. It's like they went right into their Japan thing. Their hidden door.
Well,
yeah, the hidden door.
Forbidden door.
Forbidden door. Yeah, they went right to that. It's like they completely ignored MJF after that, and I was like, why did I even start watching this?
It's kind of what WCW did at times in the 90s. Oh,
Japan. WCW did some New Japan shows in the mid 90s, but at least WCW had a good product. AEW does.
But I do find it ironic that you dipped out of WWE right before the whole Bloodline thing started getting really good.
And I've watched they uploaded WWE's YouTube channel uploaded like a 1 hour, like at the time, here's the whole Bloodline story as it was at the time. It was good. It was not good enough to make me start watching.
Yeah. See, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, you dipped out right before like all the all the best storytelling, the storyline went down.
But I've seen that storyline, and like I said, it was good, but it wasn't.
It's never ending.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. I got no problem. I got no problem with a storyline being never ending. The NWO storyline went on for a long time.
I mean, until they had that fucking, put them into factions. Reboot them every 10 minutes, every 10 weeks.
Once you get to the point where the NWO is like Stevie Ray, freaking.
You had an NWO B team.
That's when it was like, okay, this needs to end.
For as bad as the Bloodline has been, we've never had a B team for it.
But even then, I'd still take the NWO over Bloodline any day. The original NWO storyline is better than anything.
Well, yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Up until Starcade '97.
So I have no problem with Starcade '97. I've talked about that a lot before, but we're 10 minutes in here. How about we get into the show we are actually discussing? So Judgment Day 2004, we kick it off with a tag team match. The Dudleys taking on Rey Mysterio and RVD. A really good heel tag team against a really good babyface tag team, a popular babyface tag team, and it doesn't disappoint. This was a really fun opener for me. Rey Mysterio and Van Dam win, where Mysterio hits a double 619 on both of the Dudleys, and then RVD goes to the top, hits a 5-star frog splash, and that's your finish of that one. The opener, I give about 4 stars. I think, like I said, a really fun opener. Tro, what do you think about Mysterio and RVD versus the Dudleys?
I thought it was a good match. I think it was the second longest match of the night.
Okay.
But it was a very good good hot opener to keep the crowd, waking up the crowd. So Ray's popular in
Absolutely.
LA, so
Absolutely. So now we have Josh Matthews backstage in front of Booker T's locker room. Now, for context on this segment here, during Sunday Night Heat, and this is actually a DVD extra on the Judgment Day DVD here, they had Josh Matthews in front of Booker T's locker room where you could hear strange noises coming out of Booker's locker room where he's like yelling.
yes.
Not those noises.
Oh,
That
Buffy, I love you, Buffy.
yeah. So now
Don't go to fucking commercial break now, motherfucker. I want to find out how it ends.
so now so now Josh Matthews wants to get a word from Booker T here, pretty much because of these strange noises. So Josh says that these strange noises coming out of Booker T's locker room have evaded, and he also says he is going to interview Booker T right now. And that's when Josh opens Booker T's door, and you all of a sudden see a bunch of candles. It's like a dim room with a bunch of candles around the room, and Josh Matthews is completely startled as Booker T's standing right in front of the door too, which kind of startles him as well. And Booker then asks Josh, "What is your deal?" He says, "All night
What is your deal?
he being Booker T has been hearing all this racket while he's going through his pre-match ritual." And then Booker essentially goes back to the whole "I'm bigger than SmackDown" thing, where he says, "I'm bigger than RVD, I'm bigger than Rey Mysterio, bigger than The Undertaker." And he says tonight he holds the power, as he's got this sandbag in his hand. He's showing the sandbag. And he says tonight I will prove that Booker T is the one true star on SmackDown. He then tells Josh Matthews to get his ass out of here. So a good little backstage segment there. Again, promoting the whole, Booker T is scared of Undertaker. He's trying to find some type of advantage he can get. Again, Mama Sangre, of course, gave him that sandbag, that bag of sand, and he's still trying to find something with the candles and everything. I thought it was a decent backstage segment. What do you think, Tro?
I think it was good. It's interesting because these two later in the year would have a very interesting relationship, if you remember.
Booker T. Yeah, that's right.
Booker T and Josh Matthews.
Yeah, that is true. That was involved with JBL, and there was a handicap match, I think, on SmackDown, right?
Yeah,
Booker and Josh Matthews. Yeah,
they had to act like Josh Matthews has never wrestled has never wrestled before, despite being not tough enough.
Yeah. Well,
this young announcer, Josh Matthews, never been here before.
Well, being on Tough Enough doesn't mean you've wrestled.
Well, he also wrestled in the XWF.
Yeah, they're not gonna bring up XW.
They're gonna bring up Josh Matthews from the XW from the
they're not.
XWF for
They're
Hulk
not. Gonna,
for Hulk Hogan face Jeff Jarrett.
yeah, they're not gonna bring that up, especially not in 2004. Obviously, 2 years later, the XWF would show up on Hulk Hogan's DVD, but that's a different story.
JBL was like, I saw your matches in the XW. The fuck are you doing in Australia?
So now we have
I
Kurt
wonder, I
Angle's.
wonder how Maven. I wonder how Maven feels about Josh Matthews never coming up. Hey guys, Maven here. I'm being interviewed by Josh Matthews. You see, I'm a winner of Tough Enough. He's a loser. Chris Nowinski over there, he's keeping bashing his head, trying to find out if we have CTE.
Chris Nowinski was the best of all the Tough Enough season one. Chris Nowinski could have been a star, man. It's a shame.
Well, you see, he did not win Tough Enough. I won Tough Enough, and then I sold my trophy on eBay.
I was there for Nowinski's last match at MSG. The night came unmasked. I was there.
You see, I was actually there too, and
Well, he
I
was
saw.
Maven's. Maven was his opponent that night.
Yeah, you see, I saw Frank out there, and I said, "Boy, I have to fucking kick this dude's ass in front of Frank Hudson." And then I saw Kane without his mask later the night. Boy, let me. Hey guys, Maven here. I was at the Raw where Kane took off his mask. I was in the back.
Your Maven accent is nowhere near as good as your Maven impersonation is nowhere as good as your Paul Bearer.
Yeah, I kind of give him a southern twang.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey.
He's from New Jersey. I'm giving him a southern accent. I mean, if he goes south enough in Jersey, you'll start seeing Confederacy flags.
So now
the South will rise again.
So now Kurt Angle's music plays, and we don't see Kurt Angle. We actually see Luther Reigns. He comes out pushing some type of contraption to ringside, that's what Michael Cole calls it, a contraption. He's pushing it to ringside. Once he gets to ringside, all of a sudden Kurt Angle shoots up to it in his wheelchair, and
Who's that jumping out?
And this is what
Who's that happens. Jumping off the wheelchair?
Kurt Angle says that when he comes to LA, he does not see angels. The whole City of Angels thing was big here. Kurt Angle brought it up. JBL brings it up later. They said City of Angels throughout the show a lot. So Kurt Angle says he does not see angels. He sees self-important phonies on their cell phones. My gosh, Kurt Angle sounds like an old man from today.
Look at your Motorola's.
They're all
Is that a fuck phone I see?
They're all on that damn TikTok. He says he sees a bunch of lazy, incompetent dreamers looking for their big break that will never come. He sees an overrated basketball team whose star won't be in the Olympics because he'll be on trial. And worst of all, he sees fans and supporters of Eddie Guerrero. The crowd obviously pops for that, and an Eddie chant starts. But then Kurt Angle says, if Eddie Guerrero if Eddie Guerrero wouldn't have cheated at WrestleMania, Kurt would be the one defending the title tonight instead of sitting in this wheelchair. He says when JBL beats Eddie Guerrero for the title tonight, he expects that the fans will riot. He says that he hopes that LA gets the biggest earthquake in history once Kurt Angle leaves, obviously. Kurt doesn't want to be there for this one. He says, though, that he's not out here right now to address Eddie Guerrero. He's here to address the person who is responsible for him being in the wheelchair right now, and that is Tori Wilson. Kurt Angle, being the heel GM that he is, he got a couple of really good cheap pops here. First of all, mentioning Eddie Guerrero led to an Eddie chant. Now, Kurt Angle orders Tori Wilson to come out to the ring right now. Obviously, that leads to another pop. So, not a good job here by the heel GM getting all these pops, cheap pops too. So Tori comes out. She's obviously scared. She doesn't know what Kurt Angle has in store here. Well, Kurt Angle says that he paid the price for trying to clean up Tori Wilson's mess for laughing at Big Show when, well, obviously she was laughing at a joke that the makeup artist said. But Angle then says that since Tori was responsible for ending Kurt Angle's career, it is only right that she be responsible for ending her own career. So Kurt Angle says that if Tori Wilson loses to Dawn Marie, then she will be fired, and that is when Dawn Marie comes out, and we get our second match of the night: Tori Wilson versus Dawn Marie. This was okay. It didn't have the buildup that their No Mercy and No Mercy 2002 and Royal Rumble 2003 matches had. So I'd put those a bit higher than this one. This didn't really have that much buildup. It was added on late, as if you remember on last week's SmackDown, that when they were doing the match card, they announced this was being added to the show. So I thought it was decent. It was nothing really special. Again, the No Mercy and the Royal Rumble matches, great build up to those matches and made them much more entertaining than what they were.
Well, they had stories.
This match. Exactly. And they're much more entertaining than this match. I'd give this 2.5 stars. Tori Wilson wins with a backslide. Tro, your thought? Oh, the Kurt Angle thing was great too. At least add something to this match that you've thrown in late. Where if Tori loses, she will be fired. And obviously, the crowd was behind her because of that. They didn't want to see Tori Wilson go away, obviously. So that did add to the match. So I will give that Kurt Angle segment a big 2 thumbs up because of that. But Tro, your thoughts on the Angle segment, and then Tori versus Dawn Marie.
I do like how Kurt Angle still refuses just to blame Big Show solely on it.
Yeah.
Solely for it. It's like,
well,
Big Show. I mean, he could have taken the pizza or the stock options.
But Tori was laughing.
It was right
Tori
there.
was laughing at him, though. Tori was laughing at him. That's why it's not Big Show's fault.
I mean, we'll find. Kurt Angle gets his revenge on Big Show later. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, no,
if he gives him a nice haircut.
No Mercy 04 and Armageddon 04. And yeah, the haircut on the SmackDown.
I mean, that was an improvement.
He shot him with a dart.
Dart
you put out. Yeah, you put out bears with tranquilizer dart. Yeah.
But the match was a nothing match. They probably could have had it on Heat, because you know what the Heat match was?
Yes, I watched it yesterday. Mark Jindrak versus Funaki.
Reflection of Perfection.
And Mark Jindrak. Mark Jindrak on the DVD, not on the actual Heat airing, but on this Judgment Day DVD. Mark Jindrak gets the jobber entrance treatment.
Oh god.
The match starts on the DVD with Funaki walking to the ring. You don't even hear the announcer say Funaki. They cut in like right after the announcer says Funaki, and Funaki slides in the ring. You see the mirror that they use for the reflection of perfection, the Lex Luger type entrance, is being carried away at ringside as Funaki's getting in the ring. It's like, why the hell did Mark Jindrak get a jobber entrance treatment on the DVD? But I guess they wanted to cut as much time for the DVD extra as they can, I guess. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's so unfair to Mark Jindrak. Reflection of Perfection, original member of Evolution. But I guess fuck him. At least he beat Funaki.
Yeah, well, so now we have more of his JBL Eddie Guerrero storyline being so today. Like it's so today. Like you could put this storyline on television today and it would fit in today's world. In this promo from JBL, like he could have been wearing a red hat and you wouldn't be surprised. So JBL says, "This is it." He says he has been campaigning all around the country, and what he found was disturbing. He found a country full of Eddie Guerreros, which wouldn't disturb me at all. And unless they all are Eddie Guerrero, that'd be pretty disturbing because
Oh, oh, they're all
unless
just
there were
stealing
a
from each other.
million, there are a million Eddie Guerreros roaming the earth. That would be a little
I
disturbing.
mean, to be fair, that is probably a very popular Spanish name.
No, but I mean literally Eddie Guerrero himself. Like they cloned Eddie
There's,
Guerrero. That would be
I mean,
very
they might have.
disturbing.
You know, his son's still wrestling out there, dominant.
Yeah. He says the country is full of Eddie Guerreros, people who cut corners, bottom feeders who look to people like JBL for handouts. JBL says there's nowhere where this is more prevalent than here in Los Angeles. But not all of the LA people are, are Eddie Guerreros. There's some out there who wash JBL's car. They shine JBL's alligator boots. Those who sell fruit on the highway, at least they're trying to make an honest living. JBL talks about the rest of them who lie, cheat, and steal, like our president Donald Trump. That's not JBL's America, he says. He's winning the title tonight for his America, where you get ahead by working hard, by playing by the rules, and working hard and playing by the rules. In JBL's America, everyone speaks English. The views of JBL are not those of
I,
FCT.
I mean, other than the last part, it sounds pretty working hard, playing by the rules.
In theory, yeah, it
Speaking,
does sound.
speaking, speaking English, I could probably do without.
And criminals like Eddie Guerrero are prosecuted. But again, our president is still not prosecuted.
I mean,
He's, you know,
I do
JBL's.
like that.
Go ahead.
I do like that JBL at least he hates Mexicans so much, but he's at least willing to accept that he's okay with Mexicans who are actually working. He kind of sort of respects that. He doesn't like them,
In
but
his
in his
eyes,
mind, he's like, at least they're doing something instead of just being a criminal like Eddie Guerrero.
in his eyes, them working is doing something that benefits him. That is so MAGA to the
But
core.
I also wonder, like we're doing a fucking deep dive on JBL's character where it's just the one dimension. It's really just one dimensional. But I wonder, like deep down, he's like, I kind of respect that they're working, that they're at least doing something. Ah, used to have to do something like that.
This is a great heel promo. I'm going to say that. JBL, the heel character. This person as a character is a really good villain, which
Yes.
in real life, when somebody says stuff that JBL is saying, you want to punch them in the face, which is what makes a good heel. That's what they always say. This is the guy. A good heel is somebody you look at and want to punch in the face because of how they act. JBL was a great heel. you know, he also finished it tonight by saying he will be victorious. He guarantees victory, which was a big JBL thing at this time. He guaranteed victory here at Judgment Day, and then he guarantees victory again at Great American Bash. Again, like I said, this was a great heel promo from JBL, just being a complete piece of shit. Your thoughts, Tro, on JBL's promo?
I thought it was a good little promo before, just to sell that he's really dislikes Eddie Guerrero, and he's just a dick. He's a dick to be a dick. They keep on running down to L.A. I don't think L.A. was that crazy bad as
In
it might be today.
2004, yeah, no.
I mean, today Skid Row is Skid Row exists. I'm just saying. I think he'd probably make jokes about drug drug people today. You got people dying of fentanyl on the streets. The fuck.
So now we have a debut for us here on a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Scotty Too Hotty takes on the
Ooh,
debuting Mordecai. And obviously with this being a
okay. I'll be right back. I told you it was gonna be the
yeah, that's kind of
Mordecai
funny.
match.
That's hilarious that you say for those who don't know what we're talking about there, why that's funny was because Tro said off stream before we went on that at some point he was going to have to leave to get food, and he was hoping that it would not be during the Mordecai match. And literally, just as we are starting the Mordecai match, you heard the horn honk. That is absolutely hilarious. But so the rest of the show, I'm gonna try not to get through this match because Tro, for some reason, really wants to talk about this. So we'll just get to try to go down the rest of what's on this card. Hopefully, hopefully that'll give me enough time before Tro gets back. So we're up to Scotty Tuati versus Mordecai. Then we will get cruiserweight title. Jacqueline is your cruiserweight champion. She's taking on challenger Chavo Guerrero, who will have one arm tied behind his back. Then we got tag team champions, the tag team titles, excuse me, the very entertaining short-lived tag team of Rico and Charlie Haas. They are your champs. The only thing I can say about Rico and Charlie Haas is, can you find somebody for them to defend the tag titles against outside of Billy Gunn and Hardcore Holly? Two guys who have had great tag teams in other tag teams, but they're thrown together here and it just doesn't really fit. You could have had them take on the Dudley Boys. I get we had Dudley's versus Mysterio and Van Dam, but why couldn't if tag titles, if we're gonna put the belts on Rico and Charlie Haas, try to make them an entertaining tag team, which they were. Why are they going to be taking on Billy Gunn and Hardcore Holly? But the funny thing about this, and I realized this watching last night, is that Billy Gunn is taking on Rico here. I was not it never hit me until like the very end of the match, which is kind of funny. But I don't think of Billy Gunn as Billy whenever I see him outside of the red bandana and the red gear that he wore back in the Billy and Chuck days. So that kind of hit me in there. I was like, Billy is taking on Rico. That's pretty crazy. Then we have the U.S. title match. John Cena is your champion taking on Rene Dupree. And then we have the last two matches of the night, Undertaker and Booker T. And then WWE title match, Eddie Guerrero taking on JBL, that absolute bloodfest. We will definitely be getting to that very soon. Hopefully, Tro will be back very, very soon here. For those who do not have the DVD, here are some of the extras that you can see on the DVD itself. Eddie Guerrero's mother having a heart attack. That full segment from the SmackDown, where the SmackDown kicks off with Michael Cole in the ring, and he tells us that something bad happened to Eddie Guerrero's mom at a live event, and they run the whole segment. That you can see that on the DVD extras. You have a Mordecai vignette. JBL at the border, that whole segment is on this DVD extras. Booker T meeting with Mama Sangre, Booker T in the graveyard, and obviously I'm not laughing at the whole like I know that is a serious issue right now, and I'm not laughing at the issue itself. I'm laughing at that whole segment because JBL was hilarious in that segment. Um, Booker T in the graveyard, that is also an extra on there. Run down a couple of other extras before we get back to the show. Now that Tro is back, we have two promos, two commercials shoots for Judgment Day involving matches. There's one that for Undertaker versus Booker, and then one for Eddie Guerrero versus JBL. Your Sunday Night Heat segments. Jacqueline in the locker room with Tori Wilson. Outside of Booker T's locker room, as we said, I brought that up earlier. Charlie Haas and Rico interview, and then the aforementioned Mark Jindrak Fanaki match. And we have two exclusive extras, JBL and Eddie Guerrero post match, where they are in. Well, Eddie Guerrero's in the trainer room, and JBL had just come to the gorilla position, and they told him, "Hey, we need to get you some help," and they, walked him to where he needed to go. So now that Tro is back, Scotty 2 Hotty versus Mordecai. Mordecai's WWE debut, and well,
At last.
because this is somebody who WWE is trying to make the future of SmackDown, and obviously with his opponent being Scotty Tuhati, this was nothing more than a squash match. Mordecai obviously gets the win. He actually hits the Razor's Edge, and there is a fan in the front row wearing like an Austin 316 sign and shirt, excuse me, and he had signs throughout the show where he would like rate the match. He would put up a sign at 4 stars, put up a sign
Was
that
Dave
says,
Meltzer?
no, the funny thing is he looked like Tony Khan.
That explains everything.
But the reason why I bring him up is because when Mordecai hits his finish, which was essentially a Razor's Edge, the fan did
It was
the
a holy
Razor.
cross, actually.
The fan did the Razor taunt, which was kind of funny. But nothing more to really say about this match. I give it 1 star. It was nothing but a squash match. Tro, your thoughts?
Now we're never gonna have a chance to talk about Mordecai again because
We will.
pay-per-view. His only other pay-per-view appearance is literally Judgment Day 04. And I don't think either of us are doing that anytime soon. I mean Great American Bash.
Great American Bash, which I have said that I want to get. We have reviewed. Me and Christian reviewed that, but Christian freaking rushed. No, together. Christian rushed me through that show. Yeah, so
that sounds familiar.
We will get to a road to Great American Bash at some point. Not soon, but I love that show, so I definitely want to talk about it. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
But do you remember what Mordecai's gimmick was going to be? He was supposed to be like the light version of the Undertaker.
Yeah, they were setting him up for a feud with Undertaker.
But then I think he got in trouble in Japan, and during a European or Japan tour.
I recently heard story about it. Yeah.
And then they turned him into a vampire when they went to ECW. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't all that. He got Ariel. She was pretty good, but I felt bad for Mordecai because he's not bad in ring.
Yeah.
But the chances are, I feel he had a good gimmick. Yeah. The light version of the Undertaker probably wouldn't have lasted post WrestleMania 21. Assuming that's where it would eventually went.
It would have set up a match. It would have set up a program with Undertaker that could have been really good.
Makes me wonder what would have happened to Hydrate though.
Yeah,
because is Mordecai just running around SmackDown like I am the light version? Would he have killed Paul Bearer?
Well, he was around at Great American Bash.
That's when
that all went
down. That's right.
Yeah.
He's watching the back like, yes, good Undertaker. Kill him. Who's the heel now, motherfucker?
So now we have a funny backstage segment here. We have Chavo and Chavo Classic. they're essentially getting ready for the match. Chavo Classic is indecent, essentially. He's got his damn jeans, or not his jeans, his khaki pants at his ankles. Obviously, he had underwear on. He wasn't that, like, but
Oh my.
that is when Jacqueline comes into the locker room, obviously scaring Chavo Classic because he ain't even dressed yet. But Jackie has a present for Chavo Guerrero, not Chavo Classic. She says she knows Chavo might get upset tonight for losing to a girl again. So, got him a present to make him feel comfortable. Chavo says he's going to go out of his way to make Jacqueline feel uncomfortable. Oh boy. Not a great line there, but Chavo opens the present and it's women's underwear, which
Oh my.
Jacqueline says. Jacqueline says if you're going to lose to a girl, you might as well dress like a girl, which obviously gets Chavo Guerrero pissed off. He says there's going to be nothing funny because obviously what Jacqueline doing was doing here was funny. He says there's going to be nothing funny about what he is going to do to Jacqueline tonight. To which Jacqueline, showing that she is not scared whatsoever, not one bit, says, "Oh, make it hurt so good." All while Chavo Classic is all he's so Chavo Guerrero threw down the woman's underwear the second he realized what it was, and then Chavo's Classic picked it up. He's like looking at it now. So Chavo, after saying "make it hurt so good," Jacqueline leaves. So Chavo all of a sudden looks over at Chavo Classic, who's still playing around, and he says, Chavo says to Chavo Classic, "Get your head in the game." And that was the end of that segment. It was a decent comedy segment. What do you think about it?
I think you've been saying Jacqueline's name wrong this whole time. It's actually Jake Wellen.
Jake Wellen?
Jake Wellen.
I don't get it. That's how he's
You
supposed to
know,
pronounce.
you never see the substitute teacher skit from Key and Peele.
Okay, yeah, Aaron, yeah.
You've been saying her name the wrong this whole time, and I haven't. I've been
Jake.
very kind for the last 7 months and haven't been correcting you. But
Well,
it's Jake Wellen
it
from.
hasn't it hasn't been the 7 months because Jake Quillen was not in the at the very beginning of the build up for this show. But okay. Anyway, yeah,
Whatever you say,
you
Frank.
what'd you think of the segment?
It was a nice little segment.
Yeah.
Just to like remind people, hey, don't forget these guys have a match, and add a little, add a little bit more intensity to Chavo Guerrero because he kind of needed it.
Oh yeah. So now we have the tag team titles: Rico and Charlie Haas defending against Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn. You've just made them tag champs. They are as entertaining as can be, and this is their first title match. Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn, a thrown together tag team. They should have been defending against the Dudleys, in my opinion, on this show, but what are you going to do? Decent match for what it was. Again, Rico and House were very entertaining together. I give it about 2.5 stars. Nothing too special, though. What are your thoughts, Tro, on Rico and Haas versus Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn?
They are literally just throwing anything at the wall because they realized, boy, this card does not. This card needs a lot of matches. So you know what? Let's add in Tori Wilson. Let's add in this random ass team match that could
Well,
have been on SmackDown.
This was what happens when you do the brand split. It's going to lead to a lot of filler matches on pay-per-views. And you can still put together a good pay-per-view with filler on it because Judgment Day proved that, and so did Great American Bash. There was even more filler on Great American Bash, but the main matches deliver. And when main matches deliver, that's really all that matters. On good pay-per-views, you normally get 3 to 4 good matches or better, good or better. And we got that both with Judgment Day and Great American Bash. But yeah, this here was just filler. Charlie Haas and Rico versus Hardcore Ali and Billy Gunn. But it didn't have to be filler, is what I'm trying to say. Haas and Rico should have been facing the Dudleys instead of Hardcore Ali and Billy Gunn.
But then where would we have Rey Mysterio
Rey Mysterio, you put
and
them in a
RVD?
damn put them in singles matches against somebody else.
You
Maybe
cannot have Rob Van
how about
Dam
Mordecai? How about Mordecai make his debut against Rey Mysterio instead of fucking Scotty 2
He
Hotty?
needs to beat Scotty 2 Hotty because Scotty 2 Hotty used to be part of Too Cool, obviously. Hey, Scotty 2 Hotty was a tag team champion at WrestleMania. I'm just saying.
At this point, him, yeah, Scotty 2
Rick, I'm
Hotty.
pretty sure Rikishi has been fired. That's been released.
So now we have a cool little backstage segment, a quick one with Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Paul says that this is Booker T's Judgment Day, to which the Undertaker just looks up and says, "Rest in peace." So it was your typical Undertaker and Paul Bearer quick promo. Nothing bad about it at all. So at this point, Buffy would have been off the air for a whole year. What would Paul Bearer say as he's upset about that? What would he say in this promo here with Buffy not being on the air for a whole year?
Booker T, you are the reason why Buffy ended, and you will pay the price. I spent my last 3 years in isolation watching nothing but Buffy, Buffy, and more Buffy. Then I saw my son Kane bury my boy Undertaker alive, and I had to come back. And then I offered you Booker T. I saw you in the SmackDown locker room. I saw how angry you were. I was gonna offer you a Buffy DVD set. And you said, I don't like Buffy. You said, I like Sabrina the teenage bitch. So that's when I told my Undertaker, kill, kill Booker T. And that's why we're here today. And don't worry, I have big things planned for my Undertaker at the Great American Bash. We're not even going to work the show. We're just going to watch Buffy. We're going to watch Buffy all the time now. I mean, he loves it. And that's why Undertaker kills. That's why Undertaker kills Paul Bearer. Because all Paul Bearer has been doing for the past year is talking about how Buffy's and
So,
Paul Undertaker's like, I want a WWE title match. Paul Bearer's like, I can't handle this. I need my Buffy fixed.
so Booker T at this time essentially went from being on Buffy to all of a sudden being sent to Angel. And Booker T's just sitting there like, Angel's the B show. I don't want to be here. I'm better than Angel. I'm better than Wesley. I'm better than Cordelia, which he is not, but he feels that way. Yeah, so now we get to, let's see, what do we have here? The Cruiserweight title. Jacqueline is your champion, taking on Chavo Guerrero, and Chavo has one arm tied behind his back. And, well, here's the thing about this match. You get the cool moment of Jacqueline pulling the upset, winning the Cruiserweight title, but they did that on SmackDown. And to me, both of these matches should have been reversed. You should have had the moment, the big upset happen on Judgment Day. Should have had the whole build up to Judgment Day be Chavo Guerrero feels like he's beaten every cruiserweight in SmackDown, and he's issuing an open challenge to anybody at Judgment Day. And obviously, I think it would be a little disappointing because the internet, for the internet at least, because the internet will be like, oh my gosh, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be AJ Styles? They're gonna start thinking of all the outside of WWE guys.
You are.
But then have it be Jacqueline. Jacqueline pulls the upset at Judgment Day. And see the problem is they only put the belt on Jacqueline for a big moment. Well, if you're gonna do the big moment where she wins, has the upset, have her win at Judgment Day, and then have her lose at on SmackDown. Um, in fact, I think not too long after this, they have a triple threat match where Chavo Classic ends up winning the title.
Yeah.
That's how they should have did it. Jacqueline wins at Judgment Day. She pulls the upset, and then a couple weeks later on SmackDown, you have that triple threat where Chavo pins. Let's say Jacqueline like knocks out Chavo Senior. He lands on Chavo Junior, and Jacqueline's not able to Jacqueline falls down because she's been beat up a little bit, and then 1, 2, 3, that's it. Chavo Classic is your winner. That's how they should have did this, in my opinion. Having Jacqueline just get beat up essentially by Chavo. And yes, Chavo cheated. He untied his arm. Chavo Classic uh, was distracting the referee as this is happening and all that, but it's like it felt so flat. Like the crowd was not interested in seeing Chavo get the belt back here. You should have saved this for SmackDown. Do the triple threat match after Jacqueline wins at Judgment Day, and that's the upset. She pulls the upset at Judgment Day. You put the belt on Chavo Senior after that, in some fluke way where he doesn't pin Jacqueline, and there you go. I give this 1 star. I didn't really care for this match. The SmackDown match was great because obviously the crowd was so interested in seeing Jacqueline win, and she did. She pulled the upset that night, but the match here was it could have been so much better.
I think one of the problems with this match is that the crowd is kind of dead for most of the show,
Not
which
necessarily.
is. I mean, they pop for the big matches.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The big,
That they pop for the big matches. That's what happens when you have
yeah,
filler.
but it's not a
When you
hot
have
crowd.
I don't. They wouldn't have been. No matter what crowd you have, they're not going to be hot for most of these filler matches.
Are you telling me you're not going to be hot for Rico?
Or
Hmm.
listen,
Mordecai is great.
Rico and Charlie Haas. Like I said, they were a very entertaining tag team. Look who they were
But
up against. Hardcore Holly. You telling me people are going to be excited to see Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn teaming together?
he had a WWE Championship match this year.
Who? Oh,
Hardcore
you're talking
Holly.
about yeah, you're talking about '04. You're talking about '04, right. But the only reason he had that match is because 2 years prior, Brock Lesnar dropped him on his head. So there was a built-in story already. He would have never been in that title match. And that title match,
How
by
do
the
you
way,
like
went 6 minutes or something like that. It was so short because they knew that Hardcore Holly was not going to be winning the WWE title, and they were not truly investing their future into Hardcore Holly.
I mean, they kept in the backstage segment later that night when Goldberg scared Brock Lesnar by saying, "Is that Hardcore Holly I see?" And he's like,
Yeah,
"Ah."
that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, they that was it was funny, but they weren't about to make Hardcore Holly the guy. That would have been absolutely crazy. And I know the
Yeah,
Hardcore Holly used to. That's the big joke now because Bruce Pritchard brought it to light. That Hardcore Holly used to joke, "I got an idea. Put the belt on me." I don't even think Hardcore Holly was being serious when he said that.
are you saying you didn't want to see Hardcore Holly versus Kurt Angle or Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania?
No, and nobody did.
That could have been a 5-star match.
No.
10,
Um.
10-star.
So after
How do you
this
like me
match,
now?
so after the match, Chavo says Jacqueline and the fans who laughed at him made him do this. And now no one can laugh at him again because now he is once again cruiserweight champion. Chavo Classic then walks over to Jacqueline, who is essentially she's down by the turnbuckles, like selling her injuries, and Chavo Classic just kicks her in the midsection, and they leave Chavo and
What a
Chavo
dick.
Classic. At least you get a little heel heat for them after, even though they did just essentially cheat to win
Yeah.
this match. So the heat's there already. But
They're Guerreros, of course they did.
yeah,
But JBL
now we
doesn't
have.
care.
And now here's where the show picks up. The filler is done. Now we have the three big main event matches here. United States title, John Cena taking on Rene Dupree. The storyline where that led to a gold medalist saying, "I can't wait to see a French man as United States champion." It's good heat. Gold medal. There's a great way for a gold medalist, an American Olympic gold medalist, to get heat is by saying, "I want to see a French man as United States champion." Well, Mr. Angle, as he's called at this time, did not get his wish as John Cena wins, hitting an FU. This was before it was the AA. An FU on Rene Dupree. At times, the crowd was into it, especially here at the end where Cena hits the FU. I enjoyed this match. I really wanted to see more of Rene Dupree. I think he could have been a mega heel, top heel on SmackDown.
I don't know about
More so than even Mordecai, in my opinion. This guy had he had the look, he had the charisma. He could have been one of the bigger heels in the company, and he could have been a foil for John Cena for a long, long time. But sadly, that did not happen. But we saw a little taste of what could have been here with Rene Dupree. Not necessarily in the main event, but like I said, this is one of the top three matches, top four really, if you include the opener. Two very popular tag teams. So yeah, Dupree. We got to see Dupree in a main attraction match, and he did pretty well here. I give this match 4 stars. None of the match. I will say this for the show, even though all 4 matches were, in my opinion, did what they were good. All 4 of the main matches, the ones I just mentioned, the 3 that are coming up in that tag match that opened the show, were good. None of the matches on this show I gave 4.5 stars. I will say that 4.5 or above. But Tro, your thoughts on John Cena versus Rene Dupree?
I mean, it's tough because it's a predictable outcome, but at the same time, they're trying to make Rene Dupree look strong for John Cena. They're trying to build. This is 10-4 is just the year about building up Cena as much as they can.
And part of that has to do with the fact that Brock Lesnar left, obviously.
Yes. But I don't know if they should have sacrificed the likes of Rene Dupree for it. Because after the Great American Bash, he's done. He's done being anywhere near the orbit of a top star like Cena would be. Because then he teams up with Kenzo Suzuki.
That's on the writers. That's on the writers.
And that's a good tag. That's a fine tag team, but
just because
it's not the orbit.
Just because he lost at Judgment Day, and just because he lost at Great American Bash, does not mean that we're going to push him to the side and not do anything with him anymore. That's on the writers. And Kenzo Suzuki, Rene Dupree was entertaining, but they could have did so much more with Dupree. Just because you lose fake matches doesn't mean you're done. If the writers were good enough, they would have did something with Rene Dupree.
By Armageddon, by Great American Bash, they were sold on the idea of Cena and Booker T having the best of 7 series.
Understandable.
So I'm just saying, like, what Rene Dupree was doing here, he did good. He was fine in ring. He was a fine character. I don't think he would have really worked on top. You could have maybe had him down the road have a match with Cena if he had stayed on SmackDown in '05, but maybe just like a one-off SmackDown match for the title. Because at that point, Rene Dupree was literally not on the show anymore by '05.
Again, that's
He
on the
popped up.
writers.
He popped up again in the ECW.
He did that. He should not have
Bon
been in
Vivant.
ECW. But
He's an extreme Frenchman.
now we have Booker T versus Undertaker, and again, the crowd was interested for this. The funny thing about this, and I know that Undertaker at this point had started to not make every SmackDown appearance, but he literally just returned. He was at WrestleMania 20. That's where he returned. This is literally the first SmackDown pay-per-view since WrestleMania 20. He's on the card. And they're calling this a rare Undertaker appearance. How? Like, what? And he was on most of the SmackDowns leading up to this show. Remember, a couple weeks ago, he was facing FBI in a handicap match. And then
the dead man has risen here at Judgment Day for the first time ever.
It's a rare appearance. He was literally on Great American Bash. He was on SummerSlam. He was on No Mercy. That's literally those are, if in a SmackDown sense, those are all the next SmackDown pay-per-view after. Like all the pay-per-views in between those were Raw only. So Undertaker couldn't have been on this.
But if you want to get technical, he hasn't had a SmackDown pay-per-view match since No Mercy. SmackDown
No Mercy 03. But he did have a match on Survivor. But
yes, that was a SmackDown match, but WrestleMania was a Raw match.
But still, he was on the pay-per-view of WrestleMania. They didn't say
Cole and Taz did not call it. It does not count.
He did not say rare SmackDown appearance. He said rare appearance of the Undertaker.
We've never seen this man before. He calls himself the Undertaker.
He was on literally every pay. I don't even know the next pay-per-view that he would have been eligible for that he wasn't even on. Like Judgment Day, Great American Bash, SummerSlam, No Mercy.
He doesn't miss a show.
Survivor Series.
For a couple. He doesn't miss a show he doesn't miss a show technically until Survivor Series 05. But then again, he also appears at the very, very end of that show. So I don't know if you want to count that as like technically missing the show because he only shows up just to kill a couple jobbers and Tombstone Willie.
Send a message to Randy Orton, pretty much.
He does miss. He doesn't. No, he does the same thing at Royal Rumble. He shows up at the end.
Yeah.
God damn, he really doesn't miss a fucking show for like an actual non-appearance show until probably 07 when he gets legit hurt.
I can't imagine watching the 06 Royal Rumble live because I didn't watch it live and being like, why the hell is Kurt Angle, Mark Henry main eventing over the Royal Rumble? And then the show ends the way it does, and it's like, oh, that's why.
No, they could have had that could have been a hell of a Royal Rumble though. The ring's down.
So
it's crazy how the Undertaker has that power and he just never does it again.
Yeah. So Undertaker gets the win. Obviously, it's his return from being buried alive. But it's not his return. What am I even saying? No. Again, the whole rare thing. It's a rare appearance.
We've never seen the dead man before. Is it because he has a bandana?
Yeah. But yeah, the Undertaker gets the win. I give this a same rating as the U.S. title match, 4 stars. I thought it was a fun match for what it was. Tro, your thoughts on Undertaker versus Booker T?
I mean, it's kind of a weird match altogether. It's a kind of like a weird first match for the Undertaker to have after facing off with his brother, even with the story that it was. I thought the match was fine. Taker does the Dudleys next, and then he faces JBL for a bit, and then faces Heidenreich for a bit, and then faces Orton for the whole 2000
for a whole year. Yeah, that Orton Undertaker feud really helped to make 05.
That's what got me into wrestling.
Yeah, I remember we
And
reviewed that
and
SmackDown.
here I am today, going to my fucking 11th WrestleMania.
Wow. So now, my goodness, JBL, Eddie Guerrero, WWE title. And if you want to, I said it on the last SmackDown we reviewed. If you want me to explain this match in the perfect way I could explain it, is that they were handing towels to people in the front row so they could wipe Eddie Guerrero's blood off the guardrails. That explains this match. That's how crazy this match was. And my goodness, first off, the chair shot, as we mentioned it right at the beginning of the show, JBL is like pushed behind the SmackDown announce table, and Eddie is walking towards him, and all of a sudden JBL turns around and whaps Eddie Guerrero, like legit swings the chair. Eddie does not
Yeah,
put his hands up because for some reason Eddie felt like he needed to do this as the champ with the ratings
yeah.
dropping. The ratings dropping was not on him. I'm gonna say that right now.
They
When your
needed more
biggest
Mordecai, obviously.
when your biggest star walks out, when you're in the middle of a brand extension where most of the other stars are on Raw, the other show, obviously, there isn't that much. And look, I've always said SmackDown in '04 was good. The writers made up for your biggest star walking out, and for the most part, were able to keep the main attraction matches interesting with storylines. But from a rating standpoint, most fans want to see big stars. So when the biggest star in the company walks out and he's on this one show, and now there aren't that many stars left on that show, they're not going to watch. That's the problem. This was not on Eddie Guerrero, but for some reason there was still this notion that if you're the champ and the ratings are low, it's on you. That's a territories thing, man. Once the pro wrestling became a television show, there was more than just the one champion. There was plenty of other people to watch. And if they don't like what they're seeing here, it don't matter who the champ is. They can change the channel, and when the champ comes on, they can turn into him, but they're not going to watch the whole show. That's the thing. But Eddie Guerrero, being the perfectionist that he was, which is great, but he felt the need to do this, take this chair shot, which, my goodness, you saw the results. You can just look up pictures of this
Well,
match. The freaking mat looked like
it was,
a looked like somebody was painting on it, like painting red paint. That's
but
what
it
it
was
looked
the chair shot that opened him up. It was his blade drop
was. But
because
well,
he hit a artery. I think it was that.
oh, I've
That's the
heard.
reason. That's the reason. That's the reason why he bled so much.
Yeah, oh my, I think I do remember
It,
hearing
it was a
seeing that.
bad, it was just a really bad, unfortunate spot to cut yourself there, Eddie.
So
That's
then
why he was
Eddie
bleeding.
Guerrero's blood is all over. Like I said, this happens. The chair shot happens on the outside. So
Yeah,
there's blood dripping down on the ground. He walks by the guardrail, as I mentioned. So blood starts dripping down from the guardrail. They had that hand fans towels to wipe Eddie's blood off, like I said. Once they get back in the ring, there's blood dripping down on the mat. It looks like a freaking canvas. The painting all over it with red paint. And at the end of the match, towards the end of the match, the belt actually gets into the ring. So at the end of the match, when Eddie's holding up the belt, you can see there's blood stains on the belt. It's freaking crazy. And when Eddie Guerrero was over by the guardrail, there was actually a fan that like tapped him on the back. It's like, bro, do you not see that this guy's covered in blood? And I get there was no blood on his back at the time, but all over like, why would you want to touch him in that situation? Like that's crazy. But the match itself was good, and the crowd was into it. Even with the blood, the crowd was still into it. The crowd wanted Eddie to win, but the blood definitely takes a little bit away from this match. So I give it about 3.5 stars, just because it's very similar to me to the Hell in a Cell at King of the Ring '98, where that match is so overrated, and freaking Mick Foley will tell you that match was literally just two crazy spots. Once Foley fell off this, was thrown off the cell, and then chokeslammed through the cell, he couldn't move. So they literally couldn't do anything in that match. It's somewhat similar because the blood takes away from this match, and well, the two big spots took away from that match, because in that situation, Mick Foley couldn't even walk, so let alone work a damn match. So many people act like that was one of the coolest matches ever. It was as overrated as can be. I don't think there's anybody calling this like a really amazing match, but yeah, the blood definitely took away from this match. It could have been a great match, but once the blood's all over, it becomes a spectacle. And the crazy thing about it was, once the bell rings, the match ends in disqualification. Today they would have stopped the match, because after today there would be no chair shot to the head. But if a situation like that happens today, they would immediately stop the match, which honestly they should have done even back then. But
if he dies, he dies.
Once the match ends, they should get Eddie the hell out of there. But they didn't. They wanted to keep building up to Great American Bash, which you have plenty. There's like 4 or 5 weeks to Great American Bash at this point. You got plenty of time to build to it. But they want Eddie and JBL kept brawling in the ring to the point where the refs actually pulled JBL out of the ring. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that was like being legit. Like, guys, we need to get the hell out of here. So they
Eddie is Eddie is bleeding to death, and JBL's like, I still want to kill this motherfucking Eddie. Like, okay, I'm champion. Ratings are down. If I die, at least I would make for hell of a ratings boost. So I think he left. Yeah. I think he lost like legit half his blood because of the
crazy. That is crazy.
And then you remember how much Triple H lost at the in the chamber? He lost a pint.
The 2005 New Year's resolution.
2002.
Oh, 2002. Right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, freaking Van Dam went from the top of the pod.
No, that's not. That's not necessarily Van Dam's fault. That's because they didn't know how tight the fucking chamber was. How low the ceiling actually was.
I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying, because Van Dam landed on his neck, his knee landed on Triple H's neck. That's how Triple H got so fucked up that night.
You know what's even crazier is that the following year, JBL has another bloodbath with John Cena.
Yeah, with John Cena. I think that was a little more controlled, if that makes any sense.
I think it was slightly more controlled, but it was still a hell of a play job by Cena.
Yeah. But yeah, the referees pulled JBL out of the ring as this brawl's going on, which I think was their way of saying, like, we need to get the hell out of here and get Eddie some help. As they're walking JBL to the back, Eddie Guerrero jumps in and they start brawling again. The referees are like, we need to get you guys some help. They literally say that, like, we need to get you some help. We need to get you some help. And that's when the road agents come out. It was like Dean Malenko, I think Finley, Arn Anderson. They're all pulling Eddie back. They push Eddie into the ring, which was not what they should have done. They should not have let Eddie get back into the ring. But Eddie,
pushing him back to the ring. Okay, I'll fight more.
We need to get no, it wasn't fighting because JBL was on the outside. But it's like they needed to get Eddie to get back in the ring and hold the belt up so we can get the cool picture with all the blood. It's like, oh my god.
Eddie Guerrero was bleeding out. Vince is in the back. God damn it, pal. Get him back to the ring. We need a good photo. to end the Dave Malek was like, Vince, he's dying. I don't care. He's gonna get that fucking shot with the belt, or I will kill him personally. You're already doing that. Too fucking. Well, put Idol on JBL now then.
Yeah, there is no defending how WWE handled that situation, because even if you don't call the match off in that moment, really they should have did. Again, like I said, the fact that they kept Eddie on camera for like 30 minutes after the bell ring, at least it felt like 30, was crazy. Like the moment the bell rings, the disqualification happens. Even if you go off air right that very moment, be like, guys, good night, see you later. They should have, and just have the officials be like, Eddie, you need to get your ass to the back right now. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Eddie died because of this night, because obviously,
No,
sadly,
he died as well. He died
yeah,
for all the other
right,
reasons.
right. He didn't die because of this whole thing, but again, he could have died that very night with all the blood he was losing.
Yeah,
They
he.
should have. He should not have stayed in the ring for as long as or stayed in the area for as long as he did. Like they should have got him some. And it's crazy. Just how many years later does they start taking blood serious and they stop matches and clean guys up and the
Well,
people boo. The people were booing. Like
it's
they should have did that
it's
with Eddie Guerrero.
it's funny because Bob Orton gets in a lot of trouble because he doesn't tell Undertaker that he has hepatitis at
Mm,
Armageddon '05 when he
wow.
bleeds.
Mm,
But they don't stop until I want to say '08. Yeah, yeah, wait,
yeah.
yep,
It was
because
on my
JBL because
birthday. It was on
Shawn
my birthday
Michaels
in
takes a
2008.
bad play job,
Yeah.
and they're like, all the sponsors are like, no, we don't want blood, no. So
Blood in
yeah,
a controlled,
that's my
you know,
thing. That's my
yeah.
thing. I feel
But
like some matches need blood.
the
I don't
way,
need that. I don't need like stuff like this, like
yeah,
where a
no,
man's half
no,
dying, but
yeah,
at least maybe blood capsules
right,
because
right. Blood capsules.
a
No
couple of
need to
years ago
bleed.
when it yeah, no need to bleed, but a couple of years ago when it was Cody and Roman, I felt like maybe this is a hard fought feud. Maybe
Right.
one of them should get a little color. This is the main event of WrestleMania. It's no disqualification.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't, but it's whatever.
yeah. Yeah. WWE did really fucked up with this match. Eddie Guerrero should have been out of the ring way quicker than he was. That's all I can really say about it. The match itself was fine. The blood obviously brought it down a little bit, in my opinion. But overall ratings, I'll go first. This show is very similar to Great American Bash Show 4, where there's a lot of filler. That's what happens when your biggest star walks out and you're in the middle of a brand split and most of the stars are on Raw. You're going to have filler on this match. But what makes a good pay per view, in my opinion, I said it earlier, either 3 or 4 good matches. We get good or more matches. We get 4 good matches. I would go as far to say just good, not great. And that's the reason why my rating is lower than it could have been. I give it a 7 out of 10. There was a bit of filler, but the matches that were important, the big matches, delivered. For very similar to Judgment to Great American Bash, with because Great American Bash had filler on it as well, but the main matches delivered. One day we will do a road to Great American Bash Show 4, and I will review Great American Bash Show 4 with you, and neither of us will rush each other, so it will be a fun review. But anyway,
Quick review. Um,
Tro, what is your full
I
rating
have
out
to
of
give I have to give it a 6 out of 10, only because of the filler. The filler was brought it down a bit.
10?
but
I'm
also
not going to
because
disagree with that.
I know you don't really mind when a main event ends in a disqualification,
No, I don't.
but I kind of did. I kind of did like that it ended as. I feel like Kurt Angle probably should have had thought of that beforehand. Like, well, what if Eddie Guerrero, since Eddie Guerrero cheats all the time, what if he just gets himself disqualified? He has championships advantage.
Hmm.
What if JBL does something? But
But
I mean, the blood was just an accident. It was a bad blade job by Eddie.
yeah, but it definitely took away from the
It
match
took
a little
it
bit.
took
I
away.
mean,
Look, I'm okay. I'm okay with a lot of blood, but this was just a little too much blood. I thought the main event was good. I mean, to be fair, it does build up JBL very well to make him
yeah,
look at what this fucking like the fan people don't know like it was a bad play job. They think, my God, this man he hit him in the head with a chair and his fucking head exploded.
so
But it was
So the thing about disqualification finishes for main events, it's building up to a bigger match. I always think back to Unforgiven '02, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. People, this was the first time Brock and Undertaker had ever faced, and the crowd got so pissed off when disqualification was called. But the thing is, that was building up to Hell in a Cell, and that Hell in a Cell was really good. This is building up to the Bull Rope match, which was also really good.
yes,
Definitely better than this match was. And in that Bull Rope match, they switched roles with that chair
yeah.
spot, where Eddie got his revenge and drilled uh, JBL with chair. I remember watching it that night. I saw Great American Bash on pay per view. That was my second pay per view ever. My first pay per view was when Eddie won the title at No Way Out. My second pay per view was when he lost it. It was pretty crazy. I bookmarked Eddie's
What
whole uh, title run.
I will with DQ finishes. Don't forget WrestleMania 8 finish ended with a
Yeah,
DQ finish, and that
yeah,
didn't build the shit.
yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why you would do that if it's not building with something, but
And
yeah,
that was really shit. That was really stupid. Papa Shango misses his fucking cue.
yeah.
Warrior returns and he's gone in the summer.
Hmm.
That was Judgment Day. Yeah, victory.
So, I think we have some breaking news here from the hockey world. Big news. Not a
Oh.
trade. I know there's trades going on right now, but
Yeah,
this
because of
big
the
news,
roster freeze.
right? This big news actually involves the number one overall pick in next year's draft.
Uh, well,
This
good
says
job, Predators.
Justin Gavin McKenna is facing 4 charges, including a felony of
Ooh.
aggravated assault after an alleged altercation downtown Saturday night. Wow,
I
that is.
mean, I think a team desperate enough is going to look the other way and draft him first overall.
He's going to be the number one overall pick
Yeah,
still.
I was going to say. I
There's
was going
no
to say. You know what? This is hockey.
yeah.
We've had little fucking rapists in Chicago.
I mean, it depends on
Get away with.
what like. It depends on what the altercation is. Was it just a fight? Like, is a fight really going to be like, oh my gosh, you drafted a guy who got into a fight? How many NHLers have probably had bar
5 minutes
fights?
fighting.
Yeah, like how many
Yeah,
NHLers have had bar fights where some drunken idiot's like, "You hockey players aren't tough. I'll show you what tough is." Sadly that happens. That doesn't make the hockey player a bad person. Now, if it comes out that Gavin
yeah.
McKenna did something really shitty here,
Yeah.
then he's something really should be done about. But right now, that reads like he got into some type of bar fight. That's what that
Yeah.
seems like.
But he's also
But we'll
young,
see
isn't
about
he?
that. He is. He's very young. He's in the
Well, he probably
draft.
could. Might have not been a bar fight then.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, that's
Why would he be in
true.
a bar? Why would he be in a
That's
bar
true.
if he's not 21?
Let me see how
I mean,
old
people
he is.
they joke about Schaefer of if we won the cup, Schaefer would have to drink soda to celebrate because he's not 21.
Oh yeah, he's 18, so he's not old enough to drink. So I have no idea what happened here.
I mean, old enough to drink. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure he's never had a beer in his life.
Oh, it wasn't a bar though. As CBS Sports says, it wasn't a bar. It's an
Oh,
incident at a bar in State College, Pennsylvania on Saturday.
that makes
According
sense.
to a court filing, McKenna is awaiting a preliminary hearing after being charged with felony aggravated
What did you
assault.
do, Frank?
What?
Why did you go to State College bar
I
in
have nothing to do with this.
Matthew Schaefer is a better number one pick than you will be, McKenna.
Hold on. The felony one charge is defined as attempts to cause serious bodily injury or causes injury with extreme. That doesn't sound good. That does not sound good at all.
Oh, thank God we get. Hopefully, we don't win the fucking lottery this year. That would be a waste of a first overall pick.
So, we finally have reached the end of the road to Judgment Day. We finally can move on and mention our next two road twos. Now, it's been so long, I feel like I have to say Judgment Day 04 was picked by you. So that means I'm next.
Yes.
Our next road two, I've been sitting on this, I swear, for like a year. Because this goes back to the last one I picked, which we were reviewing that like a year ago. And first, like right in the middle of it, I got into the mood to review this show because it is not too long after the show we were reviewing. And if you remember, it's been so long ago. Backlash 2002 was our last road to before Judgment Day 04. Hulk Hogan was still alive. He was in the main event against Triple H. Hulk Hogan was still alive when we went through the road to Backlash. So that's how
things have changed a bit.
Yeah. So this show is not too long after Backlash 02. Our next road to will be the road to King of the Ring 2002. That is our next road to. We will start that either maybe Sunday or Monday. Tro, after King of the Ring 02, after the road to King of the Ring 02, what will we be on the road to?
Well, I've been alluding. Maybe I'm in a Judgment Day mood. Maybe I'm not. I flip-flopped back and forth on what my show will be. But I hope you're ready. Because my next show will be I fucked up.
I remember what it was. You were going I remember what it was. You're changing your mind now?
Enjoying the ride, Frank? You're on the highway, Frank. The highway to hell. Hell in a cell.
There was a Hell in a Cell on that show?
What?
So what's your next show?
Armageddon. 2005.
Oh, so you changed up. You switched up because you were talking about Judgment Day 06 a long time ago.
Oh, why? What show did I say?
You said Armageddon 2005.
Oh man, I completely blocked out there. I don't. It feels like the spirit of the Undertaker possessed me, like it possessed Josh Matthews.
You definitely changed up though, because you had Judgment Day 06 as far back as
when I changed up. When I thought about doing that bit. When I thought of doing that bit 7 months ago, I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of funny to do. And then, because to be fair, it's gonna be a very short road too, because we already covered one of the shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Velocity.
So I was gonna say once you pick Judgment Day '06 that was going to open up Bad Blood '03, but yes, you still haven't
I closed that gate.
you still haven't picked the '06 show. So I will not pick Bad Blood '03 Road 2 until you pick an '06. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna pick it right away, but as long as you haven't picked an '06 Road 2, then Bad Blood '03 will still be closed. But those are our
I will
next
not
road.
sit through a Kevin Nash pay-per-view in
Those
2000
are
fucking
that was
three.
a really good show. I don't care what you say, but those are our next road twos. So that would mean King of the Ring '02. That would mean our next show would be the first Raw after Judgment Day 2002. Let me see what that would be. What was the date on this? Okay, that would mean the May 20th, 2002 Raw will be our very next show. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, either Sunday or Monday, but it will be sometime next week, no doubt. I can will guarantee that.
Yes.
And no more ice jokes because we have completed the JBL Eddie Guerrero storyline.
Until
There's
Bradshaw shows up on a Raw. You know who I just realized I don't think I really like that Eddie Guerrero guy.
No, there's no immigration storyline leading into King of the Ring '02 or Armageddon '05. Even though JBL is on Armageddon '05 as JBL, but he's taking on Matt Hardy. So
Matt freaking. Oh, I cannot wait to get to the build to that Hell in a Cell, and then talk about what the start of Tim White's new fucking gimmick at Armageddon.
oh my gosh, yes, lunchtime suicide. My goodness. But those did not take place on SmackDown. Those took place as like WWE.com exclusives. We could talk about it, obviously, but we won't be covering them as like parts of SmackDown.
Well, yes, they happen. They start at Armageddon and then they eventually go on till he kills Josh Matthews. Poor Josh Matthews.
Yeah.
Dude gets possessed and has to deal with Tim White killing himself each week.
7 months. It took us 7 months to cover the road to Judgment Day 2004.
How long is it going to take us to get rid of King of the Ring? Considering it's two shows, it's two weekly shows.
We're gonna try to run through that a little quicker, but I'm sure it will be a long time. It won't be that long. It won't be 7 months. I mean, how long did it take us?
8 years later.
How long did it take us to do WrestleMania 15? And that spanned it over 2 pay-per-views. It was really 3.
And don't forget the Rage Party.
Yeah, the Rage Party. It was really 3 pay-per-views, but me and Christian had already reviewed Royal Rumble '99, so we just started that with the night after Royal Rumble. So that meant we went through St. Valentine's Day Massacre. We technically did the road to St. Valentine's Day Massacre and the road to WrestleMania 15 at the same time.
Yeah, that Rage Party was one of our best episodes.
I enjoyed watching it though. I was watching the Rage Party and just talking about it.
That's where I found out about the Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Yeah, that was
I didn't. Turns out I actually kind of like their music.
Yeah.
Don't like that they use AIR, but their music is kind of okay.
So, so anybody who watches the Road Twos knows the rules. Now that we have picked 2 new shows, the show picking is closed until we get to Armageddon 2005, where we will pick our next Road Twos. I haven't even decided on that yet. I've been sitting on King of the Ring 2002 for about 8 months, 9
It's
months.
Gonna be you're gonna freaking pick SummerSlam mode.
No, I don't think I'm going to continue.
Which was a good show, but it's going to keep us in fucking 2002.
The build-up was fun. I think I'm going to leave 2002 for the next Road 2. And I love 02, but
Backlash 99.
I love Backlash 99, but I don't think I'm going to go with that.
No.
I got I got to think about it. I'm gonna think about it. You can think about what you'll pick next, but sometimes we already know what we're gonna pick next very early into the road twos, but we do not reveal until the final show of the second road two, which would be Troll's Road Two. So
Yes.
we hope you enjoyed the road to Judgment Day. We hope that even though we were very long, we hope that nobody's patience was. I mean, we did one of our shows got like 130
Yeah, they
something
really like that
views.
really random ass video.
Yeah, that it was. Let me see which one was that.
Was
Um,
it the one that Kurt died in?
I think it was actually. Hold on, I'm not sure though. That might be because of the thumbnail that it. But let me see.
Yeah, they clicked
No,
on
no,
it thinking it
no.
was the clip.
The thumbnail is Undertaker sitting up, and there's smoke all around the ring, and Booker T sitting there. So that's not the Kurt Angle episode, because
Mm.
I had the thumbnail for that was Big Show grabbing Kurt Angle by the neck. That has 32 views, but we had 188 views now. It's up to 188 now. Let me see
Mhm.
what the exact episode date was. Let me see. We weren't even. I wasn't even living here yet when we did that episode 6 months ago. It was the April 29th, 2004 SmackDown, and so far I have not checked the views for this Judgment Day, but so far this is the highest viewed episode of the Road to Judgment Day, the April 29th, 2004 SmackDown.
Mhm.
That was actually the episode after, I think, because it says I put in the description GM wheelchair Kurt Angle makes his debut. So this would be the first time you see Kurt Angle in the wheelchair.
Mm.
We did that on July 15th, literally 2 days before I moved. That's how long it's been. That was July 15th, and we were
That's right.
still
That was your farewell show to
not
your
no
old
no
house.
because I did some shows with Christian those last couple of
Um,
days. Yeah.
still, you should have just left your headphones on your chair and then just cut the stream. That should have how it ended. I even made a tribute video.
You did?
We'll never forget Frank's old house, just
um,
like Moppy.
yeah, the first show we did in this house, do you remember what it was?
Was it us? Was it us talking about Hulk Hogan's death?
Yep, yep, that was it.
I was gonna, I was gonna say, I think I remember being like, "Wow, welcome to Frank's new house." So, by the way, Hulk Hogan died.
Yeah, that
I
got
was,
62 views. And then the first
I
of the
was in
road
Tennessee.
to the first of the road to Judgment Day that we did here was the episode that kicks off where they reveal that Eddie Guerrero's mom had a heart attack. That got
Yeah,
42 views.
and I don't think I ever told you where I was when I found out Hulk Hogan died. But I was in
Right.
the casino in Tennessee. I was winning. I go to the cash out, check out, and I just randomly check my phone. It's from a family. We're like, "Oh, Hulk Hogan died." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." Anyway, I think
Wow.
you hit me up later, or I told you. I'm like, "Yeah, well, let's do a quick little tribute show."
We agreed to do a tribute show. I had shared the link to the tribute show for anybody to watch, and I got a reply from friend of the channel, Mohammed, who said he wanted to be a part of that. So that's how all three of us did that.
Yes.
And then not too long after that, we did another trio stream, the SummerSlam stream we did with other friend of the show, channel, Nat. We did that talking about our favorite SummerSlam moments. So that was like our first two. I think, yeah, I think the SummerSlam one was before we did the Road to episode. So that was like our first two shows
We
with me in this house was um, the Hogan video, and then the favorite SummerSlam one. So
We did our favorite.
our first two shows with me in this house were trio shows, which is pretty crazy. What were we gonna say?
We did our favorite SummerSlam shows. I was in Tampa, and then we tried to cram in a freaking Mets recap for
I
the
remember that.
month.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely exhausted from traveling. And I remember that. I remember almost nothing from it other than me laying down in the bed as it ended.
Yeah.
And when you left, because this was when you were still like really high on the team, but I was down on the team because they had a pretty mediocre July. And I said, Frank really thinks highly of this team, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this isn't going to end up well for us. And oh, look at that. Tro was right because he had stepped out for something.
And now they're making it even worse. I'm not excited for this season whatsoever.
You see, I thought about this. I'm like, man, this Met team is probably worse off than they were last year, which means they're going to do much better. Because that tends out when the team looks worse on paper, they tend to do better. But I guess they have the third best chances of winning in like betting odds. I don't get it.
Well, we'll see.
But
well, I get it because everybody thinks once you go out and get big names that you're automatically going to win. That's not how it works.
I mean, Freddie Peralta is going to help.
He's going to help. We gave up freaking Brandon Sproat to get him.
Oh, no, not Brandon Sproat.
Yes, not Brandon Sproat. I agree. We could have kept Brandon Sproat and signed a better pitcher in the Houston.
You mean Justin Verlander?
No, not Verlander.
Max Scherzer?
No.
You said better pitcher.
You know, not at their age. They are better pitchers.
Oh, you mean Dallas Keuchel?
No. Stop giving Steve Cohen. Stop giving.
How about that for a fucking random ass old name?
if Steve Cohen's
Cy Young Award winning Dallas Keuchel.
If Steve Cohen's watching this show, he's right now sitting here like Dallas Keuchel's available. He's like 50 years old. Let's go get him.
Well, as we all know, Steve Cohen was a big fan of Judgment Day 2004. That's his favorite show. And as we all know, the Mets watch FCT ENT because that's how Brendan Nimmo got hurt. Because he heard us breaking the news of Anthony Duclair signing with the Islanders, and then he got hurt in Washington.
So our next, we still have the Islanders January recap coming up, and then we will not have any Islander recaps until April because we will be putting February and March together. So we'll be doing that in April. And just be on the lookout for our next Road 2s, King of the Ring 02, which we will be starting sometime this week, and then we will get to Armageddon 05. So that's what we have left on. Or
I might do a solo show after the Olympics to recap what happened in the at least in hockey. See how that turned out.
So you'll be on the lookout for that too.
Maybe
Christian's been doing solo videos himself.
Yeah, he's been doing good.
Be on. I don't know if he's got any more coming. He was talking about somebody dropped an album a couple of days ago, and he was like, I think it was the last time we streamed because I said that we were streaming. And Christian was like, well, I'm streaming later tonight too because this album's coming out. He never did, but be on the lookout for anything Christian might have coming too. No doubt. So
it's the revolution of FCT EMP.
So anything else you want to add to the stream here, Trill?
I think the future is bright for this channel, and I think we're gonna have fun with our next few Road 2s.
Yeah.
And our next couple of videos, and we probably if we don't stream on Sunday, then we'll probably stream on Monday. So let's go Seahawks, Patriots. I don't know. I don't have a team. I don't have a dog in the fight.
Me neither. So I really don't care. So
It's not like when Eli Manning. It's not like when Brady and Belichick were with the Patriots, where I was actively rooting for them to win because I wanted it to be only Eli and Giants to beat them. But this is just a different Patriot team, so
yeah,
but either way, I can. Either way, whoever wins wins. I really don't give a shit.
yeah.
Hopefully,
I
it's a
don't
good game. That's what I want. I want a good fun game.
I think it will be though. I do. I think it will
You
be.
see, that's the thing. Like some people think it's going to be a blowout. I think it could be rather close.
Yeah, I think it will be. Two great defenses. I don't see
Yeah.
that being a blowout. But yeah, we will see you again very, very soon. We got the Islander monthly recap for January coming out, and we will be doing the May 20th, 2002 episode of Raw real soon to kick off the Road to King of the Ring. So be on the lookout for all that. Thank you to who's watched. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we will